Video captures police trying to save Bullet-Riddled CEO, a creative narrative. The city never fully sleeps, but on cold December mornings, Manhattan feels like it's holding its breath. Steam rises from the grates, taxis hum through half-empty streets, and people walk with their shoulders tight against the winter air. On one such morning in 2024, everything was ordinary, until it wasn't. At 6:47 a.m. near the Hilton in Midtown, the silence broke. First came a flicker on a nearby security camera, a shadow moving faster than the lighting could catch. A figure approached Brian Thompson, CEO of United Healthcare, who was preparing to leave for an early meeting. Thompson was known for crisp schedules, quiet confidence, and never wasting a minute. But in the next instant, time itself fractured. The now infamous surveillance video captured a man prosecutors identified as Luigi Mangione, stepping behind Thompson. What happened next stunned the nation, looping for days on every screen, becoming one of the most disturbing public crimes of the year. Yet the world had only seen the beginning. The new footage, released in court, showed everything that came after. The discovery. In the minutes following Luigi's escape through the blur of early morning traffic, the sidewalk remained eerily still. A hotel security guard, making his usual rounds, appeared in the frame. At first, he walked with casual steps, but then froze mid-stride. Something was wrong. He rushed forward, shouting for help. A hotel guest, drawn by the alarm, joined him. They placed shaky hands on their phones, voices trembling as they called 911. "Someone's hurt. He needs help, hurry," the guard said, glancing around as though the attacker might reappear. For a brief moment, the city returned to silence, as if waiting to see what would happen next. The police arrive. The new footage begins just as the first NYPD squad car screeches to the curb. Officers jump out, moving with trained urgency. Their faces show shock, but their bodies follow protocol, checking breathing, calling in updates, directing bystanders to stay back. One officer kneels and begins life-saving efforts. Another speaks into his radio with a voice steady but firm. "EMS needed immediately. Male, unresponsive. We're initiating aid." A second police car arrives, then another. The officers work in sync, some setting up a perimeter, others assisting directly. Their breath fogs in the cold air as they try to bring the fading CEO back from the darkness. The crowd gathers. New Yorkers appear at the edges of the scene, cautious but concerned. A jogger slows to a stop, pulling off her headphones. A taxi driver leans out his window, whispering a prayer in a language only he understands. A hotel staff member covers her mouth, eyes filling with tears. Every person around knows they are witnessing something irreversible, something that would shape headlines and courtrooms for years. But the officers never lose focus. Their voices remain calm, repeating instructions, refusing to give up. The ambulance. The sirens arrive long before the ambulance does, echoing through the skyscrapers like a warning bell. Seconds later, red and white lights flash across the pavement as paramedics leap out with precision and speed. "Clear space. Let them work," an officer calls. The paramedics kneel, take over, and continue the fight for Thompson's life. Their equipment moves like extensions of their own hands, bags, monitors, compressions, stabilizers. The officers step back but hover nearby, offering whatever support they can. Then comes the moment that feels like a scene from a movie. The gurney unfolds, wheels snap into place, and the paramedics carefully lift Thompson onto it. The camera captures every second. The urgency, the teamwork, the hope struggling against time. With a coordinated push, they wheel him toward the ambulance. The back doors swing open, the gurney glides inside, and in one motion, the doors slam shut. Within seconds, the vehicle pulls away, siren wailing into the cold New York morning. The aftermath. What the camera doesn't show, but the world would soon learn, is how fast news spread. By midday, Manhattan buzzed with reporters, investigators, and confused office workers trading rumors over coffee. Social media turned the footage into a storm, and prosecutors announced charges almost immediately. Luigi Mangione, a man with no public profile until that day, now faced a list of charges long enough to shock even seasoned attorneys: state murder charges, weapon charges, federal charges involving firearms, stalking, and the use of a silencer. The possibility of the death penalty hung over the case like a shadow. In court this week, the newly released footage, showing officers fighting to save Thompson's life, became part of the evidence. And as the world watched again, the tragedy felt fresh, raw, and unsettling. A city that remembers. New York sees everything: triumph, tragedy, miracles, and heartbreak. Yet some moments carve themselves into the city's memory forever. The morning of December 2024 became one of those moments. The new video didn't just show an investigation. It showed effort, humanity, urgency, officers refusing to surrender a single breath without a fight. In a city defined by toughness, the footage reminded everyone watching of something deeper. Even in chaos, people will try to save one another. Even in darkness, there are hands reaching toward the light. And that is the part of the story worth remembering.